What's up, dudes? So, as I mentioned yesterday, I contracted a pretty gnarly stomach flu, and last night it really kicked my ass. I probably slept a total of like 4 hours after projectile vomiting and other unpleasantries. So, needless to say, I didn't have the energy nor really like the balance to drive all the way to Santa Ana for the Colt Jam. So, sorry about that, but I think I came up with something that is going to be equally as interesting, and that's going to be my 4 hardest BMX slams. So go grab some popcorn, sit tight, and cringe with me as we relive some of my most epic falls. Alright, so the first clip comes straight out of Lakewood, California, which is my hometown. John Hicks and I were filming for the Demolition DVD called Last Chance, and in about October of 2010, we had met up with Gabe Brooks to ride on a random Saturday. And I had driven past this Pollo Loco plenty of times before I had conceived the idea that I wanted to over ice pick over the L. And, I thought, an over ice wouldn't be too difficult. I tried it a few times and got pretty close. And on this attempt, I really committed, but I leaned back a slight bit too much. Roll the footage. Ouch is correct. The twigs and giggleberries were pretty smashed up. I actually tore my scrotum open and I had severe bruising for like a few weeks. The scariest part was after I do this weird dance, I kind of like checked myself and there was blood in my underwear, which I almost then passed out. Luckily I did it. John drove me home, and then I assessed the situation and I just iced it for a while. I probably should have got an MRI, but I think all was well. Anyhow, be careful. Sometimes I probably do recommend wearing a cup for some of these things. Number 3. So this spot is in Southern California. I actually had seen this spot in so many videos and had always wanted to do something pretty cool on it. And I had done wall ride flares in the past. I'll probably put one in the video here. But never one with such a big gap. So the bank is about 6 to 7 feet tall, and then there's a gap from the bank to the wall. It's about another 4 feet. So when you're doing wall ride tricks, you really have to yank back, and especially when you do a flare off of a wall, you really need that yank back, or else you're not going to clear and smash your face or whatnot. I think we went to this spot in about, I'm going to say October of 2011. This is, I think, our first generated trip. I ended up going 2 other times where I ended up getting pretty hurt as well, and this is definitely the closest attempt I ever got to this trick. As you can see, I did the wall ride, the flare pretty much perfect, except that I, for whatever reason, didn't think I was like rotating enough. So I took my foot off the pedals and decided to put it on the bank. Well, bad idea. I ended up hyperextending my knee and severely spraining my ankle. But as you can tell, I didn't really notice at first because of all the adrenaline. So, after I did this attempt, I think I went at it another 5 or 6 times before I really hurt my ankle and ended up bending my back end. I think I destroyed 3 wheels and 2 frames and 2 ankles, all for the filming of this clip, which I never have gotten, and I do plan on going back someday and doing it. It's just like, you have to really be on your A game to do this one. Number 2. So both this ice pick clip and the one where I ice pick and smash my nuts have both been on MTV's Ridiculousness with Rob Dyrdek. And it's funny because both of them were obviously ice picks, both of them I was filming for the Demolition DVD, and both of them ended in dire consequences. So for this one, I remember asking my friend Steve Courteau if he knew where the spot was, because I've seen it in countless magazines and videos, and I always wanted to ice down the whole thing. What I didn't know was that Nathan Williams had already over-iced it, and the rail is pretty low, but nobody really wanted to do anything on the left side because of this pole. And I thought to my young, naive, and very confident self, I can do this, no problem. Well, it didn't turn out so good. So the attempt prior to this one, I had already iced the majority of the rail, so I just really needed to commit across the little flat part and I would get it done. But I didn't exactly stick the ice pick too well. My weight was leaned over to the wrong side, and when I put down the double peg, I was leaning too far over and I never got my hands out in front of me. I actually don't even remember the feeling of the pole. I just remember hearing a loud noise, then a loud ringing noise, like a ee, and then just yelling, I got fucked up, which, as you can see, I really did. So this was one of the most severe injuries I've gotten while riding BMX. I actually suffered a pretty severe concussion. In case you can't tell from the video footage, while I look coherent, I actually don't remember any of that. My friends drove me to the hospital. When I got there, my girlfriend came to meet me. She asked me how I was feeling. I told her I was alright, but then as soon as I said that, I turned around and puked all over her. I remember having Panda Express. I think I had like orange chicken. It came back up just as it went down. It was a sticky mess. I also ended up getting my iPhone headphone punctured through my ear, so I had to get this glued back. You probably can't see the scar anymore, but it's on the inside of my ear. I also hit the pole with this part of my chin. And I don't know if you could tell, but I can't grow as much facial hair right here because of the scar. And I had to be off my bike for about 2 weeks because I was dizzy for a while, and I honestly think I had a slight speech impediment for a little while where I stuttered a lot, you know, right after the injury. But yeah, it wasn't a fun day. I never ended up getting the clip. I don't think I'll ever go back to that rail, and beware of those who want to grind that rail on that left side. Number 1. So this was when the OSS team got a house in Barcelona for a month. This was around 2012. We had all flown out there to ride all the new spots, party, and just have a good time in Europe. I remember I had seen this spot in a lot of videos as well, and right before this trip, I had just dialed in switch truck drivers. So for those of you guys that remember, I throw the bars the wrong way, so when I do an opposite spin, the bars are actually spinning in the proper direction, so it's kind of easy for me. But apparently it wasn't as easy as I thought. So I remember it was a pretty long day in Barcelona, and I had just snapped my brake cable or something had happened, so I was riding brakeless, which, you know, shouldn't make too much of a difference, but when I ride without brakes, I end up leaning a little more far forward than usual because with brakes, I can always save myself from looping out. It's really weird. But anyways, so I had done a few switch threes on this, and everything was feeling good. So I decided to throw the bars on this attempt, and as you can see,
oh man,
my leg up. As I'm doing the switch spin and I throw the bars, I kind of under rotate a little bit, which normally wouldn't be a problem, except that this spot has one bank on this side and another bank that's adjacent to it. And when I stepped down as if I was stepping on a flat surface, but there was an embankment there. My weight was shifted, and as you can see, my knee bends towards the left, and I hear the loudest pop, so I instantly knew that was my ACL and MCL, and everything in my knee had just blown up. This was my third knee injury, so I was already privy to all the details. So what you can't hear because it cuts off a little early is I instantly say I blew up my knee, my ACL's gone, and the next thing I thought was, man, my bike sponsor's gonna end up canning me, which kind of did shortly after that. Luckily, I got some new ones, but anyhow, this was definitely the worst injury I've had. This was, knock on wood, my last knee injury. I think I waited a few months, and then I got knee surgery. I got a cadaver ligament on my left knee, and it's been really sturdy ever since. So use all these crashes as a reminder. BMX is a really dangerous sport. I'm really lucky that I'm still in semi-good condition. You know, I have some aches and pains. Like last night while trying to sleep in all these awkward positions, my wrist ended up really starting to hurt, and that's just from subsequent injuries that over time just cause arthritis and all these other pains. So be careful when you're riding. You know, like as fun as it is, you do have the rest of your life ahead of you, so you don't want to exactly mangle your body too bad. Alright, I think that's going to do it for me today. I'm starting to feel a little queasy again, so that's going to be a date with the toilet. Anyhow, I number one want to thank everybody that submitted last night for my frame giveaway contest. I've gotten so many messages, tags, videos, DMs, Vimeo, LinkedIn. You guys found me on everything, so kudos to you guys. I already have about 10 people that I'm considering, so I'm waiting again till Wednesday to make my final choice, but keep submitting. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate all the love. I also want to thank everyone for tuning in today. I really wanted to go to the Cult Jam, but you know, the sickness is really kicking the crap out of me. Tomorrow I should feel a little better, and I'm going to try and either meet up with Hicks, Stevie, or Tyra. But as always, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys' support, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Alright boys, back to the den.
my leg up.